up, everybody? I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of January 13th, 2015, proudly sponsored by Full Sail University. If you've ever considered working behind the scenes to create video games, Full Sail University offers programs that can prepare you for a future in the industry. Whether you're interested in coding, art, producing, or mobile game development, there's a game degree program at Full Sail University that can teach you the tools, technology, and workflow used by today's studios. Students receive a laptop along with gaming industry software at a deep institutional discount. So they also offer a variety of online and campus degrees in all kinds of fields that relate to the entertainment and media industry. So for those of you who have been asking me how you get into the games industry, go ahead and check out fullsail.edu/leaguetrends for more information. This week's featured champions include Jarvan 4, Corki, Xerath, Elise, Azir, and Morgana. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the champions on the increased pick rates include Graves, Jarvan 4, Vi, Lee Sin, and Caitlyn. Jarvan is the Mr. Reliable of the jungle and is always a safe pick. He has strong ganks, decent duels, and the ability to trap opponents when he engages with his Cataclysm ultimate. He doesn't have any major weaknesses, but he has little damage if he misses his flag and drag combo, so opponents should try to juke or dodge it with abilities. His ultimate gives him particular synergy with other AoE abilities for wombo combos, but he does work well with almost any team. It's typically best to get a warrior enchantment on the Exemplar of Demacia, followed by tank items. He does have good AD ratios, but is too straightforward with his engages to build more damage unless he's very fed. You'll be better off with your stereotypical Randuin's Omen, Locket of the Iron Solari, or a Banshee's Veil. Decreased pick rates list Lucian up first, down over 6% from a week ago. Orianna, Rek'Sai, Corki, and Warwick follow up. The daring Bombardier was a suffocating presence not long ago, but ate a small nerf in 421. Players may be respecting the hit to Phosphorus Bomb's missile speed a bit too much though, as it doesn't take away from Corki's strengths of safety, range, and AoE damage. Other marksmen will perform better on a single tank, but that's usually not relevant in the mid-game where Corki excels. He is good with most teams, but excels with other poking champions. Enemies can struggle to dodge poke coming from two champions, and successive hits will quickly win sieges. He does, however, need to win, or at least go even in lane, so be wary of early bullies like Graves and Caitlyn. He does not have the scaling to farm up and wait for late game, so make sure that you can handle the enemy lane. Corki is the Trinity Force AD carry. He deals a lot of magic damage, so players often buy Sorc shoes instead of Berserker's Greaves. An Infinity Edge and Bloodthirster will bring poke and burst, but if the Wii Yordle is behind and needs to kill tanks, a Blade of the Ruin King can be prioritized. Champions on the increased win rates list include Kalista, Cassiopeia, Xerath, Rek'Sai, and Anivia. Xerath's ascension has taken another step as of late. He hasn't changed recently, and was instead indirectly buffed by preseason changes. The numbers have been tweaked, but the damage buff from the first dragon is still very important. Xerath has significant poke and teamfight damage even in the early game for controlling the dragon pit. Additionally, he's very good at defending sieges, and can use the shield from a tier 2 turret to safely whittle down opponents. With all of that said, Xerath is an immobile champion and is vulnerable when his flash is on cooldown. Driving junglers such as Jarvan 4 or Pantheon can reliably catch him. Creating picks is best done in the jungle, so to assassinate the Magus Ascendant, teams should push side lanes and try and catch him as he rotates. Build stereotypical mage items. Morellonomicon is the first major item, followed by a Death Cap and/or Void Staff. As usual, Zhonya's Hourglass should be prioritized when under pressure. Decreased win rates this week have Elise back on our show after a long break. Zyra, Galio, Corki, and Dr. Mundo round out the list. Elise is a confusing champion for many people, unless you're Medios. She's a pick in professional play, yet currently holds the lowest win rate. The reason this happens is because while she has strong early ganks and skirmishing, she doesn't reliably snowball games or engage in team fights. She has a hard time building damage items and does not have an ultimate. Organized teams work around this by using Elise for siege or picks, but in solo queue, you might not have the correct composition for her. If you do get ahead on the Spider Queen, you should probably avoid the Magus enchantment. It is tempting, but Elise has mediocre AP ratios, and instead gets more out of the magic penetration on Sork Shoes or Haunting Guise. Cooldown reduction from either items or runes is an option to improve her teamfight presence. Her Cocoon is her only source of crowd control and has short cooldown with multiple ranks, so make sure you utilize that ability to the max. Champions who show up on the increased ban rates this week include Rek'Sai, Zed, Fizz, Azir, and Gnar. While he doesn't have the ban rate of Rek'Sai, Azir is considered to be a very broken champion. Players are still mastering his difficult kit, but the Emperor of the Sands has made a few rounds in professional play and has shown his potential. Azir has multiple strengths, but his biggest one is probably his ultimate, Emperor's Divide. It creates a wall that blocks enemy movement and is thus an incredible disengage tool against nearly any team. To reliably kill Azir, teams should instead focus on ranged crowd control and burst. Champions like Morgana and Syndra can catch Azir from afar, while long-ranged marksmen like Tristana or Caitlyn can stay away from his soldiers. Most players agree that capping cooldown reduction on Azir is a priority. There are multiple ways to accomplish this. Morellonomicon is standard, and some even opt for 2. Other options include Lucidity Boots, a Stinger, or scaling cooldown reduction glyphs. Finally this week, the champions with the biggest decrease in ban rates has Fiddlesticks up first, with Warwick, Fizz, Pantheon, and Morgana following up. Morgana's ban rate continues to decrease over time, but she still annoys a few people. She's considered a support that can be played mid or even top. She's good at preventing engage with her Black Shield, however her own engage is situational. Dark Binding has a long range and is good for catching a single target. The only way for Morgana to lock down multiple targets though is through her close range Soul Shackles ultimate, so she cannot consistently force teamfights. She therefore works best if the emphasis is on countering opposing engage, but she can also follow up on crowd control from her allies. As far as lane matchups go, look to play against all-in champions like Leona or Thresh. Ranged supports that have sustain or poke are harder for Morgana to deal with, especially because she has a lower than average auto attack range. As a solo laner, Morgana is pretty neutral, and she can use her Soul Siphon passive to sustain through nearly any matchup. And that does it for this week's episode. To keep up on the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates, make sure you subscribe to LolKing's YouTube channel, like and comment below about maybe some things you'll hope to see in Season 5, and also make sure you subscribe to LolKing's YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out our sponsor this week, fullsail.edu/league trends, for more information on how you can get into the games industry. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitch TV at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.